Thinking about buying the Dacia Bigster 2025? Hold on, here are 5 critical reasons you might want to reconsider. The Dacia Bigster, with its rugged looks and promise of off-road capability, has certainly grabbed the attention of many car enthusiasts. It seems like a steal, a no-frills SUV ready to tackle anything. But like with any vehicle purchase, it's crucial to delve beneath the surface. Over the next few minutes, we're going to take a deep dive into some potential drawbacks of the Bigster that might have you thinking twice before signing those papers. Now, I'm not here to bash the Bigster, it has its merits for sure, but I believe in arming you, the consumer, with all the information you need to make an informed decision. Remember, buying a car is a big decision, and it's important to go in with your eyes wide open. So buckle up, because we're about to take the Bigster for a spin, and not just the kind the brochures would have you imagine. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. While Dacia markets the Bigster as a budget-friendly option, don't let that fool you into thinking maintenance will be a walk in the park. One of the first things you need to be aware of is the potentially high maintenance costs associated with the Bigster. Now, every car needs maintenance, that's a given. But the Bigster, despite its rugged appearance, isn't your average workhorse. It relies on some intricate components, and when those need fixing, be prepared to shell out some serious cash. See, Dacia hasn't quite cracked the code of affordable and readily available parts. This means that when something does go wrong, and trust me, with any car things eventually will, you might be looking at a hefty bill. And it's not just the cost of the parts themselves, it's also the labor. Specialized parts often mean specialized mechanics, and those don't come cheap. You're essentially paying a premium for the privilege of owning a car that's a bit different, a bit off the beaten path. Now I get it, the allure of the Bigster is strong, but ask yourself this. Are you prepared for the potential financial burden that might come with keeping this beast on the road? It's a question worth pondering before you sign on the dotted line. Alright, so you've got your heart set on the Dacia Bigster and you're willing to overlook the potential maintenance costs. But hold on a minute, we're not done yet. Let's talk spare parts, shall we? Now, this is where things get really interesting, or should I say potentially frustrating. You see, Dacia isn't exactly known for its widespread availability of spare parts. In fact, finding parts for a Dacia, especially a newer model like the Bigster, can feel like embarking on a treasure hunt. And trust me, you don't want to be in a situation where you desperately need a new part, and the only option is to order it from overseas and wait weeks if not months for it to arrive. Think about it. Your car is your lifeline, your ticket to freedom, your chariot to adventure. But what happens when that chariot is stuck in the garage, gathering dust because you can't find a replacement part? Suddenly, the allure of the Bigster starts to fade, and you're left with a very expensive paperweight. Now, I'm not saying that every Bigster owner will face this issue, but it's a real possibility, a gamble you're taking when you buy a car from a brand that hasn't quite established a strong parts network. So, before you jump headfirst into Bigster ownership, ask yourself this. Are you comfortable with the potential downtime and hassle of sourcing spare parts? If not, you might want to explore other options. Chapter 3. Guzzler alert, fuel efficiency isn't its forte. Let's face it, fuel efficiency is a major factor for most car buyers these days. With soaring gas prices, the last thing you want is a vehicle that drinks fuel like it's going out of style. And well, let's just say the Dacia Bigster isn't exactly winning any awards for its fuel economy. Don't get me wrong, it's not atrociously bad, but it's certainly not going to sip fuel like a dainty little hybrid. You see, the Bigster is designed for adventure, for tackling tough terrain, and that often comes at the expense of fuel efficiency. Its rugged build and powerful engine, while great for off-roading, don't exactly translate to stellar gas mileage. So, if you're the kind of driver who clocks in a lot of miles, especially in urban environments, be prepared to make frequent stops at the gas station. And those stops, my friend, can really add up, putting a dent in your wallet and negating some of the initial savings you might have made by opting for the Bigster. Now, I understand that fuel efficiency might not be the top priority for every Bigster buyer, but it's definitely a factor to consider, especially in this day and age. Before you commit, calculate your estimated annual fuel costs and see if they align with your budget. You might be surprised by how much of a difference a few extra miles per gallon can make. Chapter 4, Safety First, Not Quite Tech Takes a Back Seat. Okay, so we've talked maintenance, spare parts, and fuel efficiency. Now let's shift gears and talk about something crucial, safety. In today's world, advanced safety features are no longer a luxury, they're a necessity. From lane departure warnings to automatic emergency braking, these features are designed to keep us safe on the road, preventing accidents and potentially saving lives. However, when it comes to the Dacia Bigster, you might be surprised to learn that it doesn't exactly come loaded with the latest and greatest safety tech. Now, it's not completely devoid of safety features, of course. You'll find the basics, like airbags and stability control, but don't expect the same level of sophisticated safety systems found in some of its competitors. Dacia, in an effort to keep costs down, has opted for a more basic approach to safety, which might leave some buyers feeling a bit uneasy. Now, I understand that not everyone needs or wants a car that's packed with tech, but when it comes to safety, I believe it's always better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So, before you make your decision, take a close look at the Bigster's safety features, or rather, the lack thereof. Ask yourself if you're comfortable with a more bare-bones approach to safety, especially if you frequently drive with loved ones on board. Chapter 5. Interior Insights Don't Expect Luxury. Alright, let's talk about the inside of the Bigster. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, the interior of the Dacia Bigster isn't exactly what you'd call luxurious. If you're expecting high-end materials, plush leather seats, and cutting-edge technology, well, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Remember, Dacia's whole philosophy is to offer affordable vehicles, and that often means making sacrifices, especially when it comes to interior quality. The Bigster's cabin is functional, yes, but it's also quite basic. Think hard plastics, simple controls, and a no-frills design. Now, for some, this might not be a deal-breaker. After all, the Bigster is marketed as a rugged, go-anywhere vehicle, not a luxury SUV. But if you're someone who values a refined and comfortable interior, the Bigster might leave you wanting more. The seats, while supportive, aren't exactly plush. The infotainment system, while functional, isn't the most intuitive or responsive, and the overall fit and finish, well, let's just say it's not going to blow you away. Now, I'm all for simplicity and functionality, but there's a difference between basic and cheap. And unfortunately, the Bigster's interior sometimes leans a bit too heavily towards the latter. So, before you sign on the dotted line, spend some time inside the Bigster, get a feel for the materials, the ergonomics, the overall ambiance. The Bigster verdict. Proceed with caution. So, before you make that purchase, consider these critical factors. While the Dacia Bigster might seem appealing at first glance with its rugged looks and promise of adventure, it's important to be aware of the potential drawbacks. From high maintenance costs and limited spare parts availability to below-average fuel efficiency and a lack of advanced safety features, the Bigster requires careful consideration. Remember, buying a car is a significant investment, both financially and emotionally. It's not a decision to be taken lightly. Take your time, do your research, and weigh the pros and cons carefully. And if you're still on the fence, consider exploring other options in the market. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thanks for watching.